Here I am, in the place to be. Mr. K and B, you can't fuck with me. Extra sexy, extraordinary. Palms are hairy, your mama pop.
Oh, what up, y'all? It's K&B, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe. And this is the Sexy Ninjacast, the podcast all about my loves and fandoms. That's not pro wrestling. You can go check that out on the New World podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to talk about the Marvels. I just got done seeing the movie with my daughter. She didn't want a podcast. She was like, nah. She goes, I'm good. I said, that's fine. But we got to go see the movie, daddy-daughter day. So, and she was excited. This was a movie that she actually wanted to see, that she wanted to go to the theaters with me to watch. And, and I got some of the homies from work that showed up as well. And they got to see this grown, soon-to-be 35-year-old man throw that nerd flag high and proud and waved it like a sumbitch, man. I was laughing throughout this movie. I was geeking out. I love the Marvels. It's a bit choppy. The story sometimes doesn't make a little sense until, towards the end, where you're like, oh, okay, sure, I guess. But also, too, I'm so in deep with comic books, and, I'm sort of used to kind of, the choppiness of storytelling in that aspect, But I got to see some shit that made me excited for the future of Marvel. And just, there's no Kang. I'm fine with that. I'm watching Loki season 2. To finally catch up, and I'm appreciating that show. But it's also, too, is Kang's a threat still, but Kang, Quantum Mania put such a bad taste in my mouth with Marvel. If you check out that review for Ant-Man, I was so excited for that movie. I went into that movie and I walked out like, fuck that movie. But I walked into this one with high hopes because I love the first Captain Marvel movie. I love Carol Danvers as a character. I love Monica, Kamala. This definitely felt like a sequel to the show, the Miss Marvel show. It felt like a sequel to Captain Marvel. Also felt like, the continuation of Monica Rambeau's story. After she came back from the blip and found out her mom died and everything like that. And there's new threat in the world. We got more Nick Fury. I still need to see Secret Invasion, but I know that he was off in space for a bit. Then he pieced back out to space, and now he's working at the space station, And we got Goose. We got Goose in the house. You can't go wrong with Goose in the house at all. And we got, and there's kittens. It becomes a musical at a certain point. It's just a strange delight of a film that I really enjoyed. I really sat down. I mean, I was sitting there I was geeking. And there's some things that happen, especially at the end of this movie, that made me just oh my gosh, are you serious? We're finally going to get to this, And I'm just going to say spoilers right here real quick. If you don't want to continue, you don't have to continue. Spoilers right here. But that's just stuff I wanted to speak on about this movie, especially with the journey of Carol herself, and how she is the one that started the war between the Kree and Skrull when she thought she was trying to do a good thing. She thought she was trying to stop the AI from ruling over the Kree and everything like that, and she destroyed that. She destroyed it, blew it up, and she was but she's dealing with that, and she's also there's the relationship with Monica when she told Monica hey, I'll be back, as soon as I can, and she never comes back. The blip happens, Thanos and everything. They beat Thanos, and Carol is dealing with being alone. And Kamala, I will say, is truly the heart of this movie. I love Miss Marvel. That first season is so much fun. And the actress playing Miss Marvel, she's fantastic. She was the one that kept my smile on throughout the entire film. And, especially when her powers are being used and she got the scarf and everything like that. And I really love Monica's arc too with Carol, trying to rebond, and then it's just these three connecting with each other and learning that they have to use their powers because their powers kind of got this swap thing going after touching this light the main villain is that set off and everything like that. So causing these rifts in the time and space and everything like that. And like challenging them. And there's this really cool montage of them using their powers, like being like, okay, when we switch, we got to learn how to be in sync. It's a fun tale of these three connecting and bonding, and like Kamala meeting her hero, Captain Marvel. She's like besties, and that's the best part about this movie is Kamala, her little moments, and Monica has some great ones too. And when the musical part happens, and you find out that Carol is a princess, and this group of alien race, they only speak in song, and her prince is bilingual, so he can talk normal, so we don't have to do another musical act and everything. I was just like, then just a lot visually going on, and it felt like the scene where they're bonding and they have to like teach each other's powers, like a sleepover. They're getting to know each other, and when they had to when they had to go through this the memory banks of themselves, to try to figure out where we're going in the story and everything like that, which planet is going to be attacked. I'm just happy, man. I walked out of this movie fucking ecstatic, especially with the end with Kamala after Monica sacrifices herself. She goes into another universe, because the time and space got ripped, and so she has to close the this portal basically, and she sacrifices herself. And we get to the end. Nick Fury is back in space, and Carol went and re-sparked the Kree's son and everything like that, because she's a fucking badass that way. That's how fucking awesome she is. Like when she was flying and she's like, Kamala's like, she's completing a promise, and we lost, Kamala was like, she's completing a promise, and she re-sparks the sun. I was like, that is some Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel awesomeness right there. And, then we find out that Monica is now in the Fox X-Men universe, wakes up, thinks it's her mom, and I was like, oh shit, and like binary, and I was like, oh my God, are you fucking serious? We're here right now, and like now that we're finally getting the X-Men into this world, and that's why they're like, this changes everything, hinting on the X and everything like that. It was one of those things where I was like, okay, cool. Like, I definitely want, I can't wait. How we're going to continue Monica's story being in this other universe, and Beast being like, yeah, this is impossible. How is this going to happen? Then knowing that we got the Deadpool movie coming up here with Deadpool, who's going to get caught up with the TVA, for time traveling and stuff like that. And he's going to team up with Logan. From what I heard, that the story is he's going to go, they got to go get Logan and everything like that. We're going to get a lot of the Fox Marvel universe getting together and everything like that. And those are like, X-Men 2 is one of my favorite movies. X-Men Days of Future Past is one of my favorite movies. So now that we're finally getting to interact, and the fact that Hugh Jackman with Logan was like, yeah, I'm not going to do these movies no more, blah, 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 blah. The Logan was the last one. I was like, ooh, hoorah, what's next? But the nostalgia itself, I think, is what got me, especially seeing Beast, and, and it was just like, then you saw the X in the background and everything like that. Then we got to see Monica's, well, not mom, but mom, her full, uniform and everything like that. I was just like, and that's what I feel gives me a good time at the movies. Especially, this is like what happened with Blue Beetle. It just made me happy, made me like sad when Monica, like, Carol's trying to get her before the portal closes and stuff, and now Carol has to carry this weight of like, okay, well, Monica's going to come back. So one, then they move into Monica's house and everything like that with Kamala's parents. Kamala's parents are fucking fantastic too. And there's such a joy in the show that I'm really glad that we got to see them interact in this world, and interact with Nick Fury and interact with, just everything that is going on. And that's what I really like. There's just so many great little pieces in this movie that just makes me just sparkle with happiness. Fucking sparkle. And and it got me excited. And the fact that there was really no Kang, like, because we're like, all these movies are missing something that's building to the next thing. I was like, fucking Young Avengers? Fuck yeah. X-Men? Fuck yeah. Let's do it. What about Kang? Fuck Kang. Fuck him. He who remains, he who shall just stay over here while I get my Young Avengers movie. I hope it's a movie. I hope it's not a show. I want that team up. And when you see Kamala meet Kate, and she's like, yeah, I knew I wasn't the only kid superhero. And Kate's like, I'm 23. The joys of this movie, man. Go watch the movie. Create your own opinion about it. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Just drop those comments below. I want to do a more in-depth conversation about the movie. And now that I know that we're the picture is Young Avengers and now fully bringing in the X-Men in some certain way, even though she is in another dimension, she's not another dimension, another reality, another alternate universe, the multiverse, I was like, okay, yeah, that's still the theme that we're trying to keep here. So, okay, you're not trying to abandon it and everything like that. Because Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, that was more or less a ending to a trilogy. Saying okay, Star-Lord's going to be back. Don't worry, he'll be back. And we're building to the new Avengers movie, Secret Wars, and Kang's Dynasty and everything like that. So this made me excited. This geeked me the fuck out. This movie, and my daughter's like looking at me like, Dad, because like the lady right next to me, because the homies were there and they were in the back, like the seat row behind me. The lady was like scared to shit out of her because I was like, fuck yeah! When the Young Avengers thing was a thing. And then when the X-Men thing, I was like, hands up, devil horns and everything. I was like, fuck yes, man. I love this movie. The Marvels, it like I said, it gets a bit choppy with the story, but like I'm sort of used to that. And you could put two and two together. There's things that are not really established until like the very end. Like when you find out that the reason why she's attacking these planets is because there's resources for Hala and everything like that. But there's like, oh, she's attacking these worlds that are special to Carol. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't get that in the beginning. The Kree and Skrull wars are huge, and I like the fact that we touched on that a little bit. So, X-Men, baby, finally, get me going. Deadpool can't come soon enough, man. All right, y'all. That's it. That's all. Go watch the movie, The Marvels. Tell me what you think of the show. None of the show. What you think of the movie? Have you seen it? Were you a bit confused? Because if you don't see Miss Marvel, you really don't know Kamala's origin, where it comes from. And if you haven't seen WandaVision, I recommend WandaVision. WandaVision is such a great show. And, and I like, and if you watch the first Captain Marvel movie, we've been with her for a little bit longer than these characters here. And I'd like to see the continuation. I want to see Captain Marvel take over the Avengers. She fills in that role of Steve and everything, like being the leader and whatnot. Like, so this is like a good team building exercise of where we can go now. And the fact that Kamala is like going to go try to recruit other younger Avengers and create the Young Avengers, I'm all for it. The fact that I got to see Beast, and in that moment, I was like, oh, life is good. I still say this all the time. I want to time travel to that little fat kid who was reading comic books and everything back then and be like, yo, man, your time's going to come and your time's going to shine, because guess what? These movies and shows are just going to be a part of your life, and they're going to be fun. There's going to be some moments where you're like, fuck that, or fuck that movie, but there's going to be moments in that your future is bright, kid. Yeah, no, you're still going to be poor and broke and everything like that, but you're going to have a bright future because you're going to have all the superhero shit you want. Like and subscribe, share it with your grandma, share it with your grandpa, share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja. And remember, stay sexy, ninjas. Woo woo!
Welcome to the wicked shit.
Oh, yeah.